Greetings and welcome to Hex Encountered. It's December. So as I've done in the last few months, I'd like to do kind of a look ahead, but I'm going to focus primarily on the games that I've picked up recently, of which there are quite a few. So I'm going to go through them, and then you'll see some mix of these games along with perhaps Wolfpack and Fire and Sword, which I did first look videos for here in the previous month, being November. So this would be other things that you may see. Now, most recently, I've been playing Musket and Pike from Ben Hull and GMT Games, and I've really enjoyed that. So one of the things that I had picked up actually at the same time as Musket and Pike was another Ben Hull game, and that would be Banish All Their Fears. So this is in a similar vein to Musket and Pike, but a little bit more recent. Well, not very recent, but more recent than the 30 Years' War and the English Civil War. This one is Bayonet and Musket Series, Volume 1, and it features the battles of Neerwinden from July 29th, 1693, which was from the War of the League of Augsburg, and Blenheim, which is a very famous battle, from August 13th, 1704. That was part of the War of the Spanish Succession. So this is designed by Ben Hull and David Fox, and is another GMT game. And as you can see, it is a two-player game. Its complexity level is a 6, and I will do a first look on it at some point, but it may or may not happen in December because I've got a lot more games to show you here, so this could take a little bit. Now, another game I mentioned, this one already, but this is Comancheria, which is, of course, designed by Joel Toppin and is another GMT game that I got recently when I got Wolfpack, as well as the expansion for Commands and Colors Medieval. Now, this one is a solitaire game, and it deals with the Comanche tribe and kind of their history, and it's a solo game, so it's right up my alley. Plus, the topic is something that's not often explored, and I find extremely interesting. So we will be doing this game, Comancheria, the Rise and Fall of the Comanche Empire, as well. Perhaps not in December. Now, that's going to be my disclaimer for all of them, so I'll just say it now up front while we're still fairly early in the video, is that all of these games are games I've recently acquired, but that does not mean that I'm going to play them all in December. We'll see how things go. Now, MMP had a sale not too long ago, and I'm missing something. Or it's still, oh, it's on the other pile. Okay, I got 3 piles around me here. So this is Front Toward Enemy, which I originally picked up in the MMP sale, thinking I might use it for my Vietnam in November in Nam series, which I ended up not doing, but I did do some Vietnam games, 2 of them, in fact, Hearts and Minds and Save South Vietnam. This one is from Multiman Publishing. It's designed by Joe Chacon, I'm not sure which, and I hate to butcher people's names, but I'm not always sure how to pronounce them. And this is a tactical game, 50 meters per hex kind of tactical game about company and platoon level firefights in the Vietnam War. So pretty interesting. I do like MMP games, and they had a sale. It was relatively inexpensive, so I definitely picked that one up. Another one is from my favorite of the MMP series, MMP Gamers. This is the Panzer Battles, 11th Panzer at the Sheer River. And this is Standard Combat Series, which, as I mentioned, is probably my favorite series, only because it's so approachable. I know I won't have to wade through pages and pages of rules, and all the settings kind of flow together and not flow together, but are easily integrated into the main system. But anyway, this one is set in the relief attempt of Stalingrad, when the Germans were trying to relieve the Stalingrad pocket or encirclement. And this is Balk, if you've heard of Hermann Balk. It was his command. But yeah, there's 4 scenarios in here. And it's your typical kind of, Dean Essig. Of course, the late, great Dean Essig was the series designer for the Standard Combat Series. and he actually designed this game as well. And this one was released in 2016, so it's not particularly new, but it's not all that old either. All right, now I have one more from MMP. This one was actually only $5 during the sale. It's Warriors of Japan. So this is a Japanese game of Japanese origin, fittingly set. They also have the one that's set in the 100 Years' War with England and France, Warriors of England, I think, or something along. War. I forget the exact title. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. But this is a country aflame, 1335 to 1339. I believe Adam Starkweather had a hand in kind of converting this for MMP. It is a solitaire game. It has one 34 by 22-inch map sheet, a couple counter sheets, rule book, and dice. And you can see the back of this here. It's on their website, MMP, mmphthegamers.com, so you can definitely check that one out if you're interested in more information. Again, any of these that I end up doing for video, I will always do a first look for. That's kind of my my workflow, I guess you could say, where I will do a first look, then I'll do some gameplay. And I want to start adding reviews at the end because I feel like that would be a good way to wrap it up, give you my final thoughts on the game, as well as having it out there for posterity and for people who want just a quick kind of synopsis. Is this game, what's this game about? Is it good? Is it, not so good? Whatever it may be. I'm an easy grader, which is why I tend to not do reviews. I'm not highly critical. I can be critical, but I'm not going to bash anybody's hard work here unless it's really and truly terrible, which I have yet to really come across too much, at least. Then Revolution also had a sale, or may still be having a sale. And I've been looking at this game for a long time. It's Death of an Army. It's on the Ypres battle in 1914, 24. What am I doing? And it's the bagged version because the bagged versions are a little bit less expensive. I also am running out of shelf space. So bagged games aren't always a negative for me. But this one is Great War Battles Volume 1. I'm hoping to see more. I feel like there's not enough World War I stuff out there, especially like more tactical level stuff. Because of the nature of the war, although in the East there was a lot more flow to that, and of course early and late on the West, in the Western Front, there was obviously some back and forth going on there. So I did get that game, and I also got this one, which is Return to the Rock, Corregidor, 1945. This is, of course, well, maybe not of course, you may not know this, but this is a Michael Ranella design, and he's one of my favorite maybe lesser known designers. I don't know if he's lesser known, but he's the Take Aim Designs guy, and he's done Streets of Stalingrad and the Manila game, and I really, really like those games. Area movement type games, and this is also area movement. It is a 2-player game, but it is very soloable, and so I wanted to take a look at this as well. I do like Pacific War stuff as well. Next, let's take a look at a couple of solitaire classics that I recently picked up in their second edition, I guess. Habsburg Eclipse, the Great War in Eastern Europe, 1914 to 16. This is, of course, by Darren Leveloff and Victory Point Games, and was, of course, part of the I forget what the system's called now. Again, I'm drawing a blank. It's like, you're on the spot, Joe. Can't remember. But anyway, I have this, and I also have its partner, so to speak, Ottoman Sunset, which is also the Great War in the East, 14 to 18 in this case. And you can actually link them together. So you can see the map on the back here for Habsburg Eclipse, which is, of course, the Austria-Hungary experience in the war. And then you can see Ottoman Sunset right there. And then this would, of course, be Ottoman Sunset upside down. Ottoman Sunset's map right here, which is, of course, centered more east, further east there in what is now Turkey and Palestine and all that stuff, right? Syria, that area of the Middle East. This one I picked up too, and I bought those two, this, and the next two you'll see from Rock and B Games. I want to throw out a recommendation for them. They have good prices. They're having a sale, or were. And quick delivery. Of course, I live in Ohio. They're in Ohio, but we're on the other side of the state from each other. But just great, good prices. You get a discount for volume. Free shipping is threshold is low. Thumbs up for them. Here is Against the Odds magazine. This is issue 33, which has Meat Grinder, the battle for Xuan Loc from 75. So this is Vietnam, but after the U.S. withdrawal, when it was an all Vietnamese conflict. So you have North and South Vietnamese Army, ARVNs and NVAs going against each other. And designed by Perry Moore. And it actually came in kind of like almost a box. It's not quite a box. The magazine is right here. It's more like a tray, I guess. But this is cool. I have a decent amount of ATO magazines, and I don't have any that are like this. So I found this to be really cool when I got it out of the box. It is a tray, actually. You can see the compartments here. So that's kind of cool. Then we have this one. I've been getting into Napoleonics a little bit more, and this, of course, is from Victus, which is a French company. And it's, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because I'm bad at French, and my pronunciation is terrible. You take my New York accent and stick it on bad French, and it's just not a good situation. This is 3 Days of Glory, 1805 is what it translates to. And you have the battles of Elchingen, Hollabrunn, and Austerlitz. So one of those is more famous than the other two, but they were all part of the same campaign. And they all kind of went one per month. Elchingen was in October of 05. Hollabrunn was November, and Austerlitz, of course, was 2nd of December. As I'm doing this, it's the 3rd of December. And this is, we're what, 219 years anniversary was yesterday. But this is the Joie de Gloire. See? Joie de Gloire. I don't know. Bad. Days of Glory. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Series from them. There are more games in this series, but this is 3. Also comes in a nifty little package. You can see here. There's some, well, that's a cardboard container, but inside there's some wargaming goodness. And then the final thing I picked up from Rock and B is Devil Dogs, the Bellow Wood Fight 1918. This is by John Poniski and his son, John Poniski Jr. They did Hearts and Minds, or he did Hearts and Minds, which I just played, and I enjoyed a great deal. This is, of course, World War I. It's got a Rick Barber map, which is always a plus. It's a 2-player game, but I am going to try to solo it because that's what I do. And it's got some cards and stuff, which is probably why it's a 2-player design. But I mean, just the map itself, it's worth getting it just for the Rick Barber map, to be honest. But that's not why I got it. I got it because, like I just mentioned a little bit ago, I like me some World War I games. So, oops, we've gotten through most of my pile here. And we have 3 games left to do. And that game is from Worthington, by the way. These next 3 are also from Worthington. And I should do them in order, probably. So we'll start with Antietam. So this is the Civil War Brigade series. And I think I did get this from Rock and B as well in a previous order. They had a ding and dent sale, and it has a little bit of a dent right here. But I mean, I have a collection of games, but I don't consider myself a collector so much as someone who just loves to play war games. So this is the first game in the Civil War Brigade Battle Series. And this is, doesn't even tell you who designed it, but I think maybe Grant Wiley designed it. I'm not sure. Don't take my word for that. But this is obviously the Battle of Antietam, September of 1862. So famous battle in Maryland along Antietam Creek, I believe. And so that's volume 1. And I also have volume 2, which I just got from Worthington as part of their sale, which is still going. And this is Shiloh 2nd edition. So this was also in 62, actually before Antietam. This was in the spring. That one was in the fall. And so Shiloh, of course, was a battle in the West, the Western theater, which today is the Midwest or northern part of the South, really. But yeah, so Shiloh, famous battle. Grant with the Army of Tennessee on the Union side against Johnston with the Army of Mississippi on the Confederate side. So another very famous battle. And then we have more of a campaign look. This is also a very similar time frame. This would be early summer of 62, and this is the 7 Days battle. And so this one was basically the Army of the Potomac under McClellan against Lee and the Army of Northern Virginia. There were 4 key engagements on the Virginia Peninsula around the Confederate capital of Richmond. So there are 4 battles in here. And this is volume 3 in the Civil War Brigade series. Now there is volume 4 is Gettysburg, which I do not have yet, but I will probably get at some point. And volume 5 was just released not too long ago. It is the Battle of Franklin, which is in Tennessee. And that one was actually later war, 1864, I believe. So that is everything I've picked up. Now, I did mention earlier Wolfpack and Fire and Sword. I have those as well. I also have other things that I got recently that I haven't even gotten out because I didn't want to have too many. So these are all things that may possibly be played in December, as well as Wolfpack and or Fire and Sword. So what I'm going to do, rather than put up a poll, because that always ends up being, I have to limit my choices. Let me know via comment what you think, what you think I should do. And I'm going to post a link to the video on Twitter and Bluesky and a few other places, as well as here on YouTube. And you can, reply to the posts in any of those on social media or through YouTube. I'll all can kind of glom it all together and figure out maybe what I'll do. There are a couple other things that I have as well that I won't spoil because they're sooner rather than later type things. So I'll take a few days, maybe through the weekend, to determine what of this stuff we'll get into the mix. And maybe whatever gets the most votes is the one that I'll do first. So it's up to you guys. What would you like to see? Let me know. Comments section, that's where I'll be looking, as well as, like I said, on social media once I post them on social media, which will happen as soon as the video gets up on YouTube. But that's going to do it. Thank you for watching, as always. I do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, help the channel grow. Always greatly appreciated. 2 big thumbs up for thank yous to my subscribers already. We're doing pretty well in the subscriber category for a channel that's like 2.5 years old. So I'm really appreciative of your support. That's going to do it for now. I'm Joe. This is Hexed Encountered. And until next time, like I always say, happy gaming.